I was ready.
We're live in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Welcome back.
I was going to sing the iCarly theme song.
Wow, that's a memory. That was deep in the back of my brain that I was not ready to come out today.
I was watching iCarly a few weeks ago. It came out on Netflix.
I just don't know.
Super weird.
Yeah, see, I'm not ready to go back on...
No, but it's weird being an adult.
Yeah, I'm not ready to go back and look at the shows that I thought were funny because they are 100% not funny anymore. Hannah Montana, I will keep it in my memories and in my heart, but I will not watch it again.
Yeah. Everyone Totally Spies for me too.
See?
I love Totally Spies. I always wanted to be Sam, and then I watched it again and I'm like, this is literally a cartoon that is seen through the male gaze.
I know. It
is bad. Bad.
So we just don't go back and do that. Speaking of childhood, oh my god, we are going to be talking about a musical that is based off of a book from my childhood that I can't believe you never read before.
Okay, I never read it because I don't know. But also,
because you couldn't read?
Should we introduce ourselves?
Yeah, probably.
Maybe before we start getting into... Hi guys, my name is Amber.
I'm Liz.
And this is Obscurical, the musical, the podcast. And today we are going to be talking about a musical. But first, a little bit about us.
Wow. That felt so
fake. My face. It was so fake.
That was the fakest thing I've ever heard in my entire life.
We are a podcast that looks for and finds the most obscure, unknown, undiscovered,
weird,
deep in the archives of musical theater, and we uncover them and talk about them and
expose them, really.
And also sometimes regret them.
True. But you know what? We are not going to regret this one because circling back, that was such a good segue if we introduced the musical. If we introduced who we were beforehand. But you know what? We still learning out here.
We're just two amateurs.
Two ambertures.
Oh my god. Ambertures and...
Lizberts.
I was going to say lizards.
I am a lizard. Anyway, we are talking about Henry and Mudge, the musical, which has a special place in my heart for one song in particular. But I can't believe you never read Henry and Mudge as a tiny child, as a little tot.
I've literally never seen it.
Did you look at the PDF that I sent you?
Yeah, and I even listened to a reading on YouTube of Henry and Mudge, the first book, and I did not like it.
But I learned how to read from those books. Maybe it's because you can't read.
I can't read.
Anyway, Henry and Mudge, the musical, is based off of the original book series, children's book, which is often kind of used as your first real book to read by yourself by Cynthia Rylant. It is typically, it's a series that is typically about Henry and his big, slobbery, large dog named Mudge and the various adventures that they go on. So, Kate Kerrigan wrote the book and the lyrics for Henry and Mudge the musical, which is based off of the book by Cynthia Rylant, and the music was by Brian Loudermilk. So they wrote some good bops and a good musical for it. It opened off-Broadway at the Lucille Lortel Theater on December 17th, 2006, by TheaterWorks USA, and now it is available for rights for a children's show production, which I feel like typically happens with off-Broadway stuff more often than the Broadway stuff we see, just depending on how long it's been on there. But it's I feel like it's a very popular children's theater show that is pretty easy to put on because it's only 60 minutes long, which I have never done the math on, but there are a lot of songs. Well, it's children's theater. You can't keep them in there for 4 hours like in Les Mis.
I didn't know it was only 60 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
That's actually
so it's a
really
quick
nice.
show. I can see, I feel like it's done typically when colleges or smaller theater productions do a whole festival. They'll be oh, we're gonna do these big musicals, and then let's do a children's show. So it's extremely doable, especially because the cast is so small.
Right.
Cast is only mom, dad,
Henry.
The boy Henry, Mudge,
and
Annie, who is my favorite, and from what I've read from the reviews, steals the show. So I mentioned all the characters. Basically, the synopsis of this musical is Henry and his family move to a new house in the country after coming from the city, and Henry is not adjusting well as any child would in a move from a big place to a small place.
How old is Henry supposed to be?
I don't know. Kid age.
Thank you. You answered my question.
Henry, okay, wait, ask again.
How old was Henry supposed to be?
Henry is a child. Thank you.
I don't know. Was I supposed to do something?
No, it's just he's a child. I don't know, maybe like 5 to 7.
Okay.
Definitely,
I was gonna say like
definitely around
6 to 8.
Definitely around that age though, when like your dog is your best friend.
Can't relate.
So I know you hate dogs, so I don't even know if you're gonna like this musical because it's about a dog.
Dogs. I just don't love them.
Okay. Well, anyway. Our boy Henry, he's living in the country. He misses Annie, who is his cousin and his best friend. So, and he's struggling with finding new friends in the country, in the crunchy.
In the crunchy. Don't we all?
So luckily, Mom and Dad get him a great big slobbery dog named Mudge. And they share a bunch of adventures and they become best friends. They're clearly written out and meant to be best friends forever and ever until Annie comes to visit, which is where it picks up. So Annie comes to visit and there is drama because Henry thinks that Mudge likes Annie more than him because she gets Mudge to roll over.
Oh, no.
And Henry can't do that. And so he's like, the betrayal.
These matriarchal societies. Annie is the matriarch.
So Henry goes all dramatic and runs away into the cold, dark woods to find an adventure on his own. And Mudge follows to rescue him. But will they be reunited? I don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah, probably. It's a children's show. It's got to end happy.
I didn't honestly finish the last, 3 songs.
No, because we don't really have a good recording of it.
Yeah, it was really bad.
So, reviews of this of the off-Broadway. There were a lot of people that wrecked the show in terms of just being like, yo, this musical is not good. But I feel like children's theater often gets a bad rap for being good because it's not meant to be profound and
it's meant to be entertaining for the kids.
Yeah, that's why it's only 60 minutes long. You've got these good songs.
It's silly.
Please silence your cell phones.
I don't know how. It's my iPad. I don't know how to do it.
You have to slide down in the corner. And then you see the bell. Turn that off.
No way.
You fool. After I have been so rudely interrupted.
I'm sorry, it was my neighbor.
The reviews basically really ruined this show because they really came for the original actors of it that are like, the guy that plays Henry doesn't play him as a kid. He also has tattoos. I'm like, why are you ripping into Henry like that?
Honestly, though,
maybe he's a 7-year-old with a quarter sleeve. Don't judge his life.
I have to agree with the credits. Like, you're supposed to be a 6-year-old with a lion and rose tattoo.
Yes, wait, let me read this for you.
Your forearm.
The 2 actors give winning performances as Henry's parents. Not so successful is Morales, who was the original Henry, I guess, who seems at least 20 years too old for Henry. Not helping is the tattoo on his upper arm, which from time to time peeks out from under his short sleeves. Cody is perhaps older than Morales, but she comes across as a perfect, precocious brat. Cody is Annie. Morales' performance is adequate, but more is needed. He is overshadowed at every turn by the girl and the dog, which is true.
I agree.
Because Annie gets the show-stopping number. Party dress.
It's not show-stopping.
Yes,
oh my goodness. Well, here's what I have to say about this. Is that I have to agree. He wasn't good. And I mean, like, first of all, it's easier for a girl to act younger
True.
because our voices are higher, whatever. So it is a little bit easier for someone who is more feminine to act younger because they have a higher pitched voice. But so was the recording that we listened to, was that this guy?
I think so. I believe so, yeah.
I didn't like his voice. I thought they could have done a way better job with casting because he just, you can tell he was trying to sound like a kid, which is fine, whatever, but it just wasn't working out for me. It made me feel really uncomfortable. He was like, "Wow, Mudge, blah, blah, blah." And I'm like,
it's me.
You're like a 35-year-old man. I felt uncomfortable with him.
People did say that, like, the show really picks up pace once Annie shows up. And I think Annie shows up pretty much halfway through.
Oh, it was dreadful trying to get through everything before Annie.
Yeah, it was hard. It was not fun.
It was
so really Annie. We have another musical about a nanny,
but it was actually
and she carries the show once again.
She does on her little tiny shoulders. It was really interesting because the recording that was provided. So for the listener, we couldn't find the recording anywhere. It's not on YouTube. It's not.
I don't think there's a professional.
No, there's no professional recording of Henry and Mudge. So we found, Lizzie found a website that has like the music and everything like that.
It's on the writer's website. So it's legit, but not entirely.
Right.
It's from a live. So it's live. So you get some of the audience laughter.
So that's what I was getting at. Yeah. So you can hear in the back when like Mudge is being silly, like the actor who plays Mudge, because it's not played by a dog, it's played by a grown man. The actor who plays Mudge is getting a little too silly or something happens and you can hear a little boy going, ah, ha, 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 in the background.
Sorry.
And that was my favorite part of the musical. Was literally him going, ah, ha, 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 after like every time someone would like giggle or like chuckle, he would just like, you can tell he didn't know why he was laughing. And I was just like, ugh, my heart, I needed that today.
Go ahead and play Best Friends. You can maybe go like 45 or so seconds in.
Okay.
We picked out 3 songs to listen to kind of get a good idea.
Best Friends is long.
Yeah.
7 minutes.
So it was kind of hard to pick songs because it was honestly hard to listen to and pick up some things that were good.
Yeah.
But I do enjoy the one big takeaway song that like everybody does. But we'll talk about Best Friends first. So go ahead.
Where do you want me to go?
I go like a minute in.
Yeah, sure.
Oh, this is a bad spot.
Sit.
I'm bored.
Go a little bit more, sorry.
Yeah.
Here.
Anthony, we went to go do the laundry and I said, what about our game? And you said play with Mudge. Oh, I didn't mean play.
The laundry isn't even on the line.
Henry
I asked you to do one thing.
I know.
Just one small thing. Here, thank you, I got it.
Now what am I going to do?
You're just going to have to use your imagination.
Wow. I'm really bad at this right now. Oh my god.
Anthony.
Oh.
Wait.
I'm just gonna.
What are you doing? Perfect.
Finally.
That was a mess up. Now let's dress up. Best friend. I know about this. Friend is always with
Alright, I've heard enough.
Yes, it was hard to get into because I'm sure there were a lot of visual aspects of it, like bunch of physical comedy.
Right.
But I think it's like a good show in terms, if we are strictly looking at it through the lens of like children's theater, I think the tunes are catchy enough that it'll keep the kids' attention.
Definitely.
However, there's nothing profound about it.
No. Absolutely not.
However, my favorite song is Annie's song Party Dress. Honestly, I don't know how this fits into the musical. I wish I could have found a script of Henry and Mudge. Couldn't. However, this song, I performed it at a cabaret once. It's a good song because it's random enough that you don't need to know the musical.
Right.
It's a song that you can stand on its own and perform it and have it be good and funny. It's a comedic song. So the one that I found, the recording, is Colleen Ballinger from like, what'd you say, 2009?
2009.
Yeah.
If you guys don't know who Colleen Ballinger is, she is Miranda Sings on YouTube. The girl who talks like this. Hello.
So go into like, it was one of my top favorite songs that I have ever performed because it's just fun. It's just this girl talking about her party dress. She's clearly like 4 or 5. So she goes off on all of these like kid tangents that you get on about as a kid. And like it always is circling back to her talking about her original party dress. And I enjoyed it. The audience loved it. It's just a good kooky song that is in the musical theater genre, but you don't know anything about the musical, so you can perform it on its own, like at a cabaret, which I think is what she did for this.
Yeah, it looks like from just like the video that it is at a cabaret or something. Like there's people behind her and they're like now performing blah 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 from this is Colleen Ballinger. The thing is, I have to say is that all the standalone songs in musicals for some reason are always the best. The ones that can like stand on their own.
Mm-hmm.
You don't need much context. Like,
but you want to know what's kind of crazy is like, yes, they stand well on their own, but they don't fit well in the musical that they're originally in. That's the thing about this song about her party dress.
Especially.
What does that have to do with Henry and Mudge? Like, Annie, girl, what?
This is Annie's world, and we're all living
exactly.
in it.
I'm trying to think like what other songs like that like are good on their own, but maybe don't fit in.
I don't have any that comes to my brain at the moment.
I did once. There's a fine, fine line from Avenue Q.
I feel like that one kind of fits though.
Mm-hmm. Oh, Brush Up Your Shakespeare.
That one
kind of stands out of the musical and is good to perform at a cabaret. Suddenly Seymour. I don't know. But like this one specifically is like one of those that like doesn't make sense in the musical.
No.
And then all of a sudden
it's just like, hello?
But it's good. No, don't give me that look. Just play it.
Okay.
And I'll try my best not to sing along.
Don't sing along.
I won't.
Lizzie, if you sing, I'm going to have to tape your mouth shut for the podcast.
Ding, 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 ding. Okay, go.
Okay.
Did you see my party dress? This morning I was feeling dressy. Mother thinks I'll get it messy, but she cannot see where I have spilled. I spill here, and here, and here, and here. Oh no, that was on my other dress. John Michael stole my birthday cake and Jenna Wilson tried to take my punch and munch. It wasn't fair. I grabbed the punch, I climbed the chair, but then I fell and punch went everywhere. On the floor, on the chair, on his shoe, in her hair. But it wasn't on my party dress. John Michael was made fun of soccer, so I stuffed him in a locker. I played soccer and I played the flute. I took art and discovered him and tumbling and t-ball, and I play piano every night. My dad says I'm a prodigy, but I think I would rather be the FBI or CIA, a secret spy who saves the day. And when I finish singing it, I'll play. Oh, do joy in Jim Joe, clap
laugh if you like it. And it's really fun. And I wear a cape.
Did you see my party dress?
I feel like this is.
You can pause it.
I feel like
So good.
this,
Sorry.
this song just like truly captures what having ADHD is.
Truly.
Like, honestly.
But like, again, thinking back to
but
what
also,
we
like,
know
from
about
a
the
kid. Yeah.
Mhm. What we know about the plot of Henry and Mudge.
Right.
What does Annie,
What does this contribute
what is
to
you
the
doing?
show? No one wants to hear about your party dress.
I do.
Okay, Lizzie wants to hear about your party dress.
Honestly,
Annie.
listening to that song again makes me want to go out and find a place to perform it. I need to perform that song again. So good.
Guys, like and subscribe if you like the song Party Dress.
I liked and subscribed it. So people have truly said that like the show really comes to when Annie, the character, jumps into the scenes and stuff like that. And clearly she gets the best song. And don't even say I'm biased right now.
No, she does get the best song because all the songs are trash.
Okay, well, let's listen to the Henry and Mudge around the 2-minute mark. Since it is the titular song.
I did. That was a good word.
Thank you.
But you said... Alright.
It's kind of hard to hear because of the recording, but...
Yeah.
That's the best feeling I got. When the ball's in the air and somehow it feels where it belongs. Flies and the ladybugs.
They really capture the essence of a dog.
They really did.
So maybe after all.
Me.
Sorry I got so mad. I'm sorry your dog liked me better than you. He
Me.
doesn't anymore. I think he likes both of us. Yeah. He really likes you. Ready, Annie? Bye, Henry. Bye, Annie. Bye, Mudge.
Do you want to skip ahead a little bit? See if we can get...
Heck yeah, girl. I don't want to listen to this. Just kidding.
Nobody is better if you're running on Johnny or just coming. Stuck together with crazy glue. Henry, Mudge, dinner. I will always be friends.
I want to cry.
You see?
Come on, Mudge. Hey, Henry. I love you.
Oh, my heart bone. My heart bone.
Owie.
Right in the heart. Okay, that was sweet.
Did that make it for you?
Well, you know I'm emotional and I
I
cry
know.
over everything.
So, I think overall, looking at it as a musical, yeah, it's not good. Looking at it from a children's theater perspective, I think that this is a good option. If done correctly. Like, I'm looking at it from being like, I want to direct this and do this right. I want to do it like proper children's musical, like fully interactive with the kids in the audience and stuff like that, and like keeping them sustained for like an hour. Because clearly the songs are exciting. There is a way to do it right. And I think you have to have that kind of knowledge to do it to make it successful.
Yeah. I don't know much about making musicals or directing, so
I think it would you just have to like do your best to like, especially with like children's theater, like I see it as like, you know, instead of talking to the characters, if like you were a character and I were a character, instead of talking to each other like this, you would be talking to the audience out like this, and then you would turn over and look at them. So that way it's like the kids feel like they're included in the story, or else they're not going to be interested.
I mean, yeah, that makes sense.
So like that's how you do it. You do a lot of like physical dumb humor, which it sounds like it's doing.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's just like you gotta find different ways to keep the kids entertained, and that's I think is through looking out at the audience, making them feel welcomed, maybe having like call and repeat stuff, and physical comedy, because who doesn't love a big giant floppy dog? So that's my hot take on it.
Played by a grown man.
Yes. Again, you just have to pick like the right people. I don't think that the kid that played Henry was the right pick. You need to pick someone more, you know, like younger and juvenile looking and things like that.
Yeah.
But I think it's a good, solid. Would this be your starring musical in your festival? No, this is your little children's show that you do on the side.
On the matinee.
Yeah.
Like, on a Sunday afternoon.
Yeah.
After
and then you hand out juice and snacks at the end.
Popcorn.
And I would give it a standing ovation. Just before party dress. And also, I would have to perform party dress. I'm in the audience and I perform party dress. Barbie dress. Party dress. I would not throw fruit at it.
I'm in the middle. It was very difficult for me to listen to.
The recording sucked. Yes.
The recording did suck. So that was definitely something that played a part in that. But also, like, I like putting my opinions aside, it would be a great kids musical. Like you said, it has to be done right, because I feel like I would like the experiences that I've had with the kids that I've been around and like taught.
They would lose interest.
They would literally lose interest and just get up and walk away.
Yeah.
So you'd have to actually do it right and like include them, because like it's not a screen, it's not like all these flashy colors and everything like that. It's like live people that you're watching and live music. But personally, unless I had children under the age of maybe 8, I would not.
I think this might be even like a good like starter theater to go take your kid to.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Like training theater.
Yeah.
These are the training wheels to go see Phantom of the Opera. I think just overall, it's just a great musical that I would pay $5 to $7 to go see. I don't think I would pay any more. Maybe 10.
I wouldn't.
But yeah.
Unless I had children that can get in for free. Oh. Because they're that young.
Oh.
That the children don't even count.
I'm sure they would love it. I still remember the first musical that like I remember seeing, both like big professional and like little high school. So like it matters.
Actually, that is true.
What was your first musical, you could say like locally and then do like big?
My first musical locally, I don't even remember. It had to have been when I was like in high school or something. Oh, you know what? It was one of my friends. I was like a junior in high school, and she was a senior or she was a junior and I was a sophomore. I don't know. I was in high school. My first local theater was at her high school, and she was the lead for Guys and Dolls.
Oh,
it was really cute. She's so good. She's a very good singer. But my first professional musical was Cats when I was 3 or 4 years old.
Oh my God,
no. Yes, I remember. So I used to live in Manhattan, and my mom and my dad would get tickets all the time because they worked in the city. So we would get to go to like the Rockettes and the Christmas spectaculars every single year. And one year my dad was able to get Cats, or it was my mom or my dad, and they got Cats tickets, and they secretly recorded it while like we were there. And
They were bootleggers?
because I watched that thing every single day. I was like 2 years old and I could recite all of the music from Cats. I distinctly remember, I don't remember seeing it in the show, and I don't remember actually watching the VHS. I only remember we were at the show, and there's a part in the show where they're standing on the stage, and a giant boot from like off stage falls, and they all look up, and they look down, and like falls, and they're like, ooh. And then they go back to doing whatever, and it was like, I don't know why that stuck out to me, but it was like this giant boot falls on the stage and the Cats stare at it, and it was like, I think it was like, honestly, like, yeah, like I literally saw Cats on Broadway.
And that was the first one you ever. Why do all of our podcasts always circle back to Cats?
Because I love
It's cursed.
I love Cats.
I can't believe your parents bootlegged it. That's so not good.
Oh my god, my parents were ghetto, and I know you're not supposed to say that, but I literally was from the ghetto, so I can say that.
You can say it.
I can say it. But like I actually did live in the ghetto.
Congrats.
But
I cannot believe.
yeah.
I have to bully you for forever now that your first musical was
now you have to
Cats.
bully me forever. You have
Yes.
been bullying me for the last like 6 years I've known you.
Now it
Okay.
starts. It starts now.
Okay. Okay, well, I could say that your last movie theater experience was Cats. So
I'm
we're
proud
like,
of that.
we're connected,
So,
I feel.
I think so too.
It was destined.
I just remember looking over at my boyfriend, and his head is in his hands, and I'm like, "Are you okay?" He's like, "I'm so angry."
Listen, I still want to do that watch party. So can we plan it now that all the girls have waxed and waxed?
Sure.
Maybe not waxed.
Do you want to know about my first musical?
No.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I just want to talk about Cats. Anyway.
Cats is
What was
not
your
good.
first musical?
Okay, here's the one that I like specifically remember. Well, the first musical that I saw was Beauty and the Beast.
Mm-hmm.
And the only thing that I can remember is, allegedly, I went to the bathroom like every 20 minutes because I was like 5.
You must have been so annoying.
I probably was. But I remember specifically the transformation because they put him up into the air and they spun him around, and then he became the prince. And I remember that sticking out in my head.
Where did you see it?
On Broadway.
Oh, okay.
And I remember it, and I was like, how did they do that? It was magic. That's the only thing that I remember from it. My first that I saw like locally was Seussical the Musical. And I remember specifically, it was at the high school that I ended up going to. I remember, and it was like, so I don't know why it sticks out in my mind so much, but like, you know how in Seussical, like he goes to the clover field and he looks through all the clovers to find the one with the Whoville on it and stuff like that.
Right.
So they had a blanket that had like just a bunch of pom-poms on it, and they were bringing it on and off, and that was like the clover field. Well, it got stuck on the elephant nest that he was resting on because they combined all the Seuss stories together.
Right.
So they combined like Horton Hears a Who and Horton Sits on an Egg. So it was stuck on like the big, like almost like a lifeguard chair almost of the tree that he was sitting on. It got stuck. And the bird girls, who are kind of like the narrators throughout the show, were pulling on it and pulling on it and pulling on it, and it was not coming off. And then I remember they finally got it off, and everybody in the audience clapped for them. And I remember leaning over to my mom and being like, why are they clapping? And that was like the first time that it was like, oh, well, like that wasn't supposed to happen, and they fixed the problem. And that was like my first kind of like introduction to like theater goofs and stuff like that, and like how kind of there's like this magical moment when like things like that go wrong, or things like that go wrong on stage, that it's like everybody instinctively knows what to do right away and like gets the job done. So that was like my first kind of like theater magic moment that I like remember, and that I love so much from performing, and I miss it so much. So
yeah,
that was my first experience,
well,
which is funny because it kind of goes full circle, because that was like my first lead role that I ever got.
Yeah, that's true.
Was Gertrude McFuzz.
Oh, and yeah.
So it went full circle. My first lead role was the first amateur.
Infamous Pits.
Yeah. I'll never live that down, and honestly, at this point, it's become my own meme.
It's become your legacy.
That when I was performing Gertrude, the theater that we were performing in had no AC on in the middle of August. And they put me in a denim chambray dress. And I remember trying to hack. I put pads, like sanitary pads, in my armpits to try to get it to stop.
Did it work?
It was, what do you think?
I'm gonna take a guess and say no.
No. So, and at the end, I do this big, like, YMCA pose after Amazing Gertrude. Pose up like that. And I remember asking my friends did me so dirty. They all fake. They all fake as hell. I go up to them. I said, guys, like, could you see my pit stains? And they were like, no, it wasn't that bad. They couldn't even notice it. I watched the recording. And the recording wasn't like, you're shaky. It was like nice HD camera. Zoomed right on in. Pits. And more pits. So now just that picture
it lives
is
forever.
Infamous. Like, I always bring it up. It's so funny. I bring it up for Dr. Seuss Day all the time. I'm like, here, just thank you for this iconic moment, Dr. Seuss. So now that I said that show and party dress really make me miss doing theater, and I hope I can get back to it soon. And if we do,
yeah,
I would like to perform Henry and Mudge.
No!
Yes.
No! You're gonna say this after every single, like, musical that
I want to put it on? Yeah.
Yeah, you're gonna be like, I actually want to do Bubble Boy. I don't want to do Bubble
Your
Boy.
fans want you to.
I do want to do Bubble Boy. Only for that one song, There's a Bubble Around My Heart. I am sticking
and gotta
to
get that boy.
Oh, gotta get that boy. I will be headbanging so hard. So hard, you don't even know.
Well, on that note, we'll leave you with that.
Yeah.
That we would like to put on a production of Henry and Mudge and Bubble Boy the musical.
Okay, but I don't want to do Henry and Mudge.
Courtesy of, fine. You can just Shark Tank finance it for me.
Okay. Wait, I want to be Mudge.
Fine. This has been Obscurical, the musical, the podcast. I'm Liz.
And I'm Amber.
And you just listened to us discuss Henry and Mudge. And we'll see ya on the next one.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.
Bye. Do you think we did a good job?
I think we did the best job.